Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rebecca and Rebecca. And we are glad you're here. And it's our favorite day today. It's author interview day. But my name is Rebecca Yager. I'm coming to you from just north of Dallas, Texas. And my partner in books is the lovely and talented and very busy Rebecca Reed. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for all the compliments. It's just.
We're just fabulous today.
Hmm.
And again, it is our favorite day. We're interviewing an author. New to us for the show, but we've all been around Mandy a little bit here and there through our various writing groups. So, welcome, Mandy Boerma. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. It's so exciting to be here.
All
Well,
right,
we're
we're gonna,
excited to have you.
yeah, very glad to have you. We're gonna have Rebecca um, tell people all about you, and then we'll dive into our conversation about the Royal Runaways holiday and your writing process and all this fun stuff. So, Rebecca, why don't you tell folks about Mandy?
When Mandy Boerma isn't hanging out with her at her favorite coffee shop writing, she's a busy mom. After meeting her own Prince Charming, they started their happily ever I'm like, I was gonna say after, and like, there's no after there. Happily ever in the Florida Panhandle. While those early days included romantic sunset walks with sand between our toes, days are now filled with carpooling, dance lessons, and band practice. Yep, you guessed it, mom duties. Two daughters keep Mandy moving and grooving, riding on the go, normally with coffee in her hand. So, welcome, Mandy. We're so happy, as we said, that you are here. And we're excited to talk about your book because I really, I just, well, first of all, I loved the cover. I thought the cover was
Oh,
gorgeous.
thank
I don't
you.
think we have one here. Do you have one handy that you could hold up or
I
anything, Mandy?
do. Yeah, my cover designer did a really great job on that.
Perfect.
So,
Right.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
even
good.
really,
Fits the book. Yeah.
it does. And I'm not a huge, I don't know. Some people, I guess, really like the illustrated trend. I'm not one of them, generally speaking. Um, but I did like yours. I thought it was really nice and I liked all the details and I thought it just really it just showcased the most important parts of the book so well
Mhm.
and just really gave you a sense of, what the story was going to be about. So,
Yeah.
kudos to your designer. Great job for that.
Yeah, yeah, well done. All right. Well, first, before we talk more about the book, I'm going to talk more about Mandy.
Ooh.
Like questions like, did you always know you wanted to be a writer?
No, no.
No.
Well,
Okay.
no,
Oh, do tell.
I always enjoyed writing. I never thought it would be creative. And so I worked in news for a while and I did some business writing. But even in college, I was not interested in creative writing. It's the only writing class I didn't take. And so I never thought it would be the direction that God would lead. And when he was like, I think you should do this, I was like, all right, I don't know. It's not quite the same, Lord. But he has been so gracious to just introduce the right people, provide the right information, and just kind of open doors to lead in the right direction. But it's vastly different than what I set out to do.
Mhm. Well, in news writing or any the news broadcast business, because I was in that a little bit too, is totally different than, the
Yeah.
world of fiction and stuff. So it is quite elite. People think, oh, writing is writing. It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not at all. So,
No.
well,
Well,
how long does it
even
go ahead,
I was
Rip?
going to say, even creative writing, like different genres are so different one from another that you can't just,
Mhm.
take everything and just say, all right, I'm going to change from contemporary to historical and it's all going to stay in the same order and everything's going to be exactly the same because that's not how it works. Um,
No.
so
Nope, not at all. Well, how long does it normally take you to write a book? Do you have a regular schedule, a rhythm? Are you still working full time? I didn't even ask.
I no, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I am full-time mom,
That's
and
a
so writing
full-time
kind
job.
of fits in the cracks. And so it depends on a book how long it takes. Like Royal Runaway Holiday came together very quickly, and it was after a little bit of a break. I needed to just decompress and refocus. And when the Lord was kind of like, here's an idea, and I was really just going to write a short story, and it just kind of morphed into something bigger, but it went really fast. This one I'm working on now is not so fast, and so we're just we're we're pushing it through because it's not as fast as I would like. But I think it varies for books. Do you guys have a set
I
schedule?
I write fairly quickly, usually, but the
Mhm.
story I'm working on right now has been not going fast either.
Yeah.
Are you working on the same story I'm working on? Are you working on the Nashville series book, or are you doing
No,
something
well,
different?
something different right at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Because that story for me right now is like, yeah, it's not going hardly at all. Actually, it started going a little better today. I actually got quite a few words today, but
Oh, that's good.
yeah, which is great. But yeah, no. And I think you're right. I think every book is different. Um,
Hmm.
for me, it has been. And I think this is interesting because I really think that the more I know about how a book is supposed to be, the harder it is for me to write fast. Because then I
Yep.
realize, like, wait, something is wrong here.
Mhm.
I don't have
Mhm.
everything I need. And then I want to make it right before I go on, which is really not the best idea sometimes, but that's my brain. And so I'm struggling to get past the part where I'm like, this is not right, and I can't do it like this, to the point where I can just put something down and then go back and fix it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Mandy, speaking of how you write, do you plot? Are you a plotter? Are you a pantser? What is your
I have
process?
always been a little bit of a plotter. Um, I normally like to have an idea of where I'm going for a book. For Royal Runaway Holiday, that was not the case because I started out as a short story. It did not have a plot. It just kind of grew from where it started in both directions. So I didn't really start at the beginning. And so normally I plot, but I am learning that sometimes writing by the seat of my pants can be fun too.
Mhm. Hmm. If you don't
Yeah.
get, I love the rabbit trails. I think you need to, I'm a little bit of a plotter too, but I think you have to
Mhm.
leave the door open to take the different
Yes.
trails, just don't go too far away. Kind of make sure you come back. Mm, yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, sometimes you just need to leave room for the character to say, "Well, that's not quite what I wanted."
And they do talk. People who
Mhm.
say characters don't
Absolutely.
talk, they talk. I think, Rebecca,
Yes.
you're familiar with that concept too, huh? So,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and sometimes they have better ideas than you do. Not
They do.
always, not always, but sometimes.
is
Sometimes
the
they'll just say the right things. Oops, sorry.
no, go ahead, please.
Sorry. Sometimes the characters will say just the right thing to move you in the right direction.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And it is your brain going because once you get in the thick of it all, it's like the
Hmm.
ideas come. It's like brainstorming is almost my favorite part of writing a
Yes, for
story.
someone else. I like to brainstorm for other people.
Not for yourself. Do you like people helping you brainstorm, or is it?
Yeah, I do. But it's hard by myself. I love to have someone to bounce ideas off of,
Mhm.
or to help them bounce ideas.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely. That's why
I
writers need
agree.
to have that community, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that we can share. It's a lonely business otherwise, so you got to have that
Yeah.
community. That's how a lot of us have met is through
Hmm.
writers groups, things like that. All right, so you write contemporary romance. Is that your favorite genre? Are there any other genres you're interested in? Is there something lurking in the back of your mind that you might want to try that's different?
I love fantasy. And so maybe someday, I mean, there's an idea. I've started it, and occasionally I will venture back to it, but it's not as plotted out as it needs to be, like the story world. And it's just this vague idea that comes and goes. So maybe someday.
Mhm. Well, Rebecca
I
is our
concur.
Yes.
Yes. No, I have several books that are already written, fantasy books. I hesitate to get in too deep with two genres because I'm just barely figuring out how to deal with one. So,
Hmm.
Eventually, definitely I will publish them one way or the other. I just, there's a lot of work besides the writing, after the writing
Hmm.
to put out. And that's the part that I
Yeah.
struggle with. And so um I don't know about you, but like marketing and all of the just making sure people see the
Yeah,
book and know that it's there. Those are the hard parts, in
I
my
agree. I
opinion.
agree. Yeah,
Um,
it's the after that can be hard.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, we all want to write, and then there's all this business stuff and marketing stuff, and a lot of not all, a lot of writers are introverts or on the shy side.
Mhm.
You never know. Has anyone given you a piece of advice or something that really motivated you to keep writing when it got really difficult, or something that you rely on, scripture, anything?
I can't remember who said it, but someone once said, that writing is a calling, and sometimes you need to just obey.
Mm,
And, that's in with my kids, sometimes we have a time where we can talk, and here's why we need to do things. And sometimes I just need you to obey. And sometimes I feel like that's how the writing journey is with God. Sometimes he's like, well, yes, I've given you this beautiful calling and I need you to go fulfill it. And other times I feel like he's like, can you just sit down and do what I'm telling you to do? And and so I think sometimes refocusing on the fact that this is, for right now, this is what God's asking,
mm,
do it, even when, doubt creeps in, or, uncertainty, because we all face that, is this good enough? Should I really keep doing this? Is it worth it? This is a lot of work. Why am I doing this? Just to remember that it is a calling that God's given, and I need to follow in what He's asking me to do.
Yeah. I think my favorite parts, I think part of too what's so interesting about when the characters talk is because I think a lot of times it's God talking through the
Mhm.
characters, and he's telling you a lot more about your story than you know because he already knows
Mhm.
what it's going to be or what it should be or what it could be. And
Yeah.
so that collaborative piece with God and what it teaches the writer about whatever the situation is too is he's drawing us all closer to him in whatever way he uses us. And for a writer, that's writing, obviously. and
mm,
and it's just amazing the things I have learned since I started writing that are about life and my relationships, not just with God but with other people,
mhm.
and just those things. And I think that's the biggest benefit for me as a writer is just all the people that I've come to know and the things I've learned about just how to be a better person.
Mhm.
Mm. Oh, so good. Okay, we're done. That's good. Leave on a high note. Okay, let's talk more about the book since we were dancing
Mhm.
around the Royal Runaways holiday. Was there a specific genesis for the idea, something that jumped out at you, or was it a combination of things that hit? And how did you come up with this idea?
So I was pretty stuck. I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue writing, and I wasn't sure if it's really the direction that God had. I had set out, I did what He asked, and I was like, do you really want me to keep doing this? And I'm okay if you don't, Lord. I'm ready to say it's okay. And He, he sent a friend into my life that says, it's not time to quit, and maybe you should start with some smaller things. So I wrote a spark flash piece, and I loved that. It was quick, it was fun, it wasn't serious, and it was just enough to say, okay, I really do enjoy sitting at the computer and, putting characters on a page. And I thought, well, the short story was fun. I'm going to do another one. And so I actually found a contest for a short story, and they had given graphics and you could pick one, and they wanted you to write a story for this graphic, and it could be between 5 and 8,000 words. So I set out and I started my story, and I got to about 7,500 words, and I thought, hmm, I'm having fun with this. Maybe I will just make it a little longer, and it can be a newsletter giveaway, and it'll be
Mhm.
great because it's going to be too long for this, and that's okay, but I love this story. So I I kept going and it hit about 20,000 words. And I was like, well, that's good. That's good. It'll be a nice little, novella. It'll be good. And then we hit 40,000 and then 50. And then I was like, well, now it's just a novel. So we're just going to keep going. And that's kind of how this idea grew.
You'll have fun.
Wow, that's
Um,
really cool. As
yeah.
someone who tends to not be able to write anything that is short at all. Um,
Yeah, I tease her a lot about she has to cut down on her words a lot. Um, was there something through the course of writing this story? Was there something that your characters did or said? We briefly touched on characters early, but was there something specific in this book that surprised you, or a character that came on the page that had a stronger voice than you expected? Anything like that with your characters? What surprised you?
Um, well, I'm working on the next book in this series right now, and with some of the same characters that walked on that really grew on me. And so I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed the uncle, Gordon's uncle in this book, Orlin, and he became one of my favorite characters quickly. And in his book, he has a friendship with the king, and I loved Eva's dad throughout her story. And he's really developing a very strong voice in my head. So those were the two that kind of surprised me, but I enjoyed those side characters.
we like side
We do.
characters.
We love side characters because they add so much. I don't know. They add extra dimension to the book. Of course, you love the main characters, but sometimes the interactions when the side characters come in, just their voice can just be outrageous, or the voice of reason, of
Mhm.
course, or anything like that. They can be so much fun.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I agree with you. I loved the king in this book a lot
Well,
because
thank you. Yeah.
he
Yes.
loved his
Uh,
daughter. I mean,
and
he was
Mhm.
just
Orlin,
oh.
both of them. I liked Orlin too a lot.
Mhm.
They were both just very warm characters, and they just provided that, kind of grounding, I think, for
Mhm.
the other characters, because there was a lot of
Mhm.
running around and crazy going on with some of
Yeah.
the others. And so they were just kind of that like steady presence in the book
Mhm.
where you always kind of come back to them, right? You come back to the
Mhm.
king, you come back to the uncle, and
Mhm.
lots of wisdom in both as well, even if the main characters decided they didn't want to listen to them half the time. Um, it was still there. So yeah, I like them a lot. What about Kendra? Where did that
Oh, yeah.
character come from?
Um, I, my sister and I are very close. And so I love writing a good girlfriend. I love having another strong female on the page that can be a sounding board, that can just be, you can be close to. And so, um, so many people use twins or,
Mhm.
just a look-alike, that I thought having somebody that was just a little different might, I don't know, just be different. And I really love Kendra. I'm excited for her story to come, maybe in the future.
Yay.
Um, but I see some difficulties for her.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. It's
Yeah.
going to
yeah,
get interesting. I guess we all need to
yeah.
stay tuned here. All right. Well, I guess we need to talk about Eva and Gordon. They are the main characters
Mhm.
of this story, and they're each battling a little bit different things. Eva has a
Mhm.
strong sense of duty, and we don't give away spoilers here, but
Okay.
sometimes we can talk about it a little bit. Eva does have a strong sense of duty here, and Gordon, they're childhood friends, but he still feels, oh no, I don't want to say not worthy because he's a good man. Um,
Mhm.
but
Maybe inadequate
oh,
That's what
okay,
I
a
was going to
little.
say. Inadequate. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think too. He just doesn't quite measure up maybe to his idea of what he
he
should be, or what
he
Mhm.
thinks he
the
should be.
yeah,
Mhm.
what the future king should be, maybe, is the thing. I think
Mhm.
it's the weight of that title that's really holding him back.
Mhm.
At least that's what it seems like to
But
me.
I think we do that too. We think, oh, well, this is what I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. And so I wanted Gordon to feel a little bit of that. Well, I don't know if I can do that.
actually, I kind of like this because this was she's a princess and
Mhm.
the future queen, and it's not just the king who can't go out and marry a commoner. It's almost a twist on the regular royal story.
I wanted to give a Roman holiday a happy ending. And so I loved that idea that maybe they could have been happy at the end.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. Who doesn't want to, give Audrey Hepburn good things?
Right?
Absolutely. Um, oh, lost my train of thought. All right, Rebecca, your turn.
Okay, well, I also, one of the things I really liked was the bell and the chapel.
Mm.
The bell and the chapel were just really awesome additions to the story. And I mean, you could have done it without them, I think, but really, it just gives it that like historical feel and like the fact that there's so much history in this country and it's so significant, that the bell and the fact that it doesn't work and nobody knows why and they can't fix it and and like you said, no spoilers, but so you have to read the book to find out why I think this is so cool. But I just thought that was really neat. So where did the idea for the chapel and the whole bell thing come from?
So I think it was, I don't remember who said it, but someone said that a good Christmas novel needs a magical moment at the end. And um, just something that comes together to make it that really magical Christmassy feel. And I wanted to fix something, I guess, um, that didn't seem like it could be fixed, but that still had a logical explanation. So it wasn't all just, magic in there. And in Europe, there's so many beautiful buildings that are there, but they need work or they have been kept safe, but they're crumbling because of age. And I loved the idea of having a place that was there that they were going to keep because it was old, but that maybe was overlooked and kind of ignored.
Yeah, well, you did a great job. I could
Well, thank
see it. You did a great job of describing it. And I've been to Europe and seen some of
you.
these chapels and things like that. So it was easy for me to kind of think like, okay, I get a feel for this, but I just loved the history that you included and the pieces of the royal family's history with this building, and I thought that was just fantastic. I also like the caretaker, and I was like, this guy, like, hmm, and it's one of those things like you get that magical moment, and it's almost like I don't know if is it Rachel Hauk who has,
Mhm.
you know, the guy that comes in and you're never quite sure who he is, right? Is he an angel? Is he what is he? That's what that guy reminded me of was that. And so I thought,
Yeah.
that was really cool. Yeah. So
They're
very
magic.
nice. Very nicely done. And
Um,
then of course
Thank
there's
you.
Lizzie
Mm.
and that whole situation
Mhm.
with her. And we can't talk a whole lot about her
yeah.
either, but like I was very curious about her from the moment you introduced her.
Mhm.
Um, was she in the original idea or did she come around later? That was
She was
my
part of the original. Um,
okay.
and I had to work to keep her in the story. Like I had to remember to bring her back, but um, I really I wondered why this little girl was wandering around. And so when she first came on, her ending wasn't as clear in my head. Um, but she did make an impression with that first meeting, and I figured we had to find out why she was there.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's part of kind of the Christmas bazaar because I love
Hmm.
the whole bazaar. It almost reminds you of even the German European Christmas
Hmm.
bazaars is what I was envisioning with this. And there's a few characters in there. And forgive me, I forgot the lady who served the coffee and the
Marge.
Marge on there.
Hmm.
Again, just a little touch. She was sprinkled in through the story, but just
Hmm.
I don't know. There's warmth with her coffee. Hot chocolate, but I loved the bazaar. I thought that was well done, and I could just it was so picturesque in my mind. Um,
Mhm,
and then that was a good place to keep having Lizzie roam around too
mhm.
on
Yeah.
there. Um, wow,
Yeah.
it's Monday today, y'all. It
It
just
is.
Yeah, we don't tend to do it great on Mondays, but that's okay. So Naviv, how did you come up with the name for the country?
yeah.
Oh, that one was really hard. And I threw a bunch of names up on the wall, but my maiden name is Nevins. And so I kind of played with that and just tweaked it and kept Googling to make sure that there wasn't something random named after it that would just be weird. And so I
Right.
spent a lot of time Googling and mistyping and um, I don't know, just variations of that.
Hmm.
Hmm. I think those kinds of things are hard. I guess for a non-writer, you think, oh, you just give it a name. But sometimes, when names are so important, and you also like what you just said, I thought it was really good because you want to make sure nothing else is already called that. Because
Yeah.
for lots of reasons. There's copyright and trademark issues for one,
Hmm.
and then there's like you just don't want it to be the wrong kind of idea to be associated
Hmm.
with your book either, and you just never know. So, yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad you brought that up because it is more difficult than you think. And then characters, you get all the names that have to be put in there, and
Hmm.
it can be tricky. So, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
I realized when I got all the way through with this one and I'm starting on the second one, when it comes to naming, I never named the king. Like
Mm-mm.
he didn't get a name in this book, and I
Hmm.
was like,
No.
oh no. I mean, like it wasn't one of those things that I left out, but she just, he and from Eva's point of view, it was always her father,
Hmm.
and Gordon always thought about him as, the king or his
The
majesty.
king.
And
Hmm.
you let names go. Naming can be really tricky when it comes to finding the right thing in novels.
I think it's okay because then when he later, if he gets a story that's
Hmm.
more his, right, then you're going to
Hmm.
be more personal with him. If you give him a
Hmm.
POV and everything, then he will have a name, right? And you're
Yeah.
not stuck trying to like make sure that it fit from before. Now you can
Right.
actually fit it to him for his own story. I think it's cool.
Hmm.
I noticed it actually, but it didn't bother me because he
Hmm.
was the king. Like that's who he was, right?
Hmm.
And he was Eva's father, and he was one or the other, because she even talked about how, oh, it's
Hmm.
my father talk. Oh, nope, the king's back,
King's
and
talking, or it's my father
so
talking. Yeah.
Hmm.
right. So I mean, it was fine because he was in this story. He was not that he wasn't real, but he had a different role as like an
Hmm.
advisor type role or a authority figure role or so
Hmm.
yeah. It'll be fun to figure out what you're going to call him, though.
Hmm. All right. Now, this is obviously we're airing this in March. It's not our usually holiday time of year, but it was too cute a story, and people want Christmas anytime, right? And it's not an over-the-top holiday story, a little bit. But what you were talking about book two, do you have anything
Hmm.
coming out, or are you still working on, is there something in
I'm still
between book
working.
two? Or is,
My goal is to get it out later this year, but
Mhm.
I don't have a date yet, but hopefully this year.
All right.
Do you have a website? Do you have a newsletter where people could sign up and hear the
I
news on when
do.
it's going to be
I
released?
do.
So, why don't you share with us, sure, how to get in touch with you?
Yeah. My website is mandyboerma.com, Boerma. And I have a newsletter there. You can sign up for that. And a lot of my information comes out with my newsletter. And on Instagram, I post a lot on Instagram for book stuff too.
And is it Mandy
Okay.
Boerma on Instagram as
It
well?
is. Yep,
Okay,
it is.
keep it simple. And again, Boerma.
Hmm.
And forgive us, I think we mispronounced this at the beginning. So, Boerma.
That's all
Yeah.
right.
It's a name like Yager. You just answer to anything, right? 'Cause
You do. And you hear it a lot of different ways.
Mhm. Absolutely. Rebecca, be thankful you have an easy last name. So that's
Yes.
it. Do you have a title for book two, or is everything just really fresh and new
I
right now?
do. It's called Royal Chef's Kiss.
Ooh. Oh,
Okay.
I like that. All right, Royal Chef's Kiss, hopefully coming out at the end of this year or sometime this year. Um,
Yes.
Go to Mandy's website, sign up for a newsletter so you don't miss a thing. But meanwhile, get into the spirit and read Royal Runaway's Holiday, a book that Rebecca and I thoroughly enjoyed.
Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you for reading it.
Oh, yes. I loved it.
Yeah, we've had a good time talking about it and stuff. So I think the review is going to be good on this.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
It's it's all good. All right, Mandy, we appreciate you being here. And next month, Rebecca, we're going a little bit different direction. We're going back into the romantic suspense, and we'll be
Yep.
talking with Carol J. Post with Detecting Deadly Threats. Bum, bum,
Yes. It's a
bum.
canine.
Oh, yes, it's a
Canines.
canine
Yes. You have a
story.
kitty. Mandy has a
I do.
kitty.
It
Oh,
never fails. If I'm on camera, he is going to appear.
well,
That's
who's your
okay.
kitty?
Yeah, this is Elway. Can you
Aw.
smile, buddy?
Aw, that's
Yeah, but
nice. Yeah, usually we
Rebecca's
have
dog
a
makes me
dog.
good.
Yeah, my
Yes.
dog usually shows up. She's sleeping or something. I don't know. I've been
Yes.
on this all day, so she's been in and out
Oh.
but yeah.
She's like,
But
I'm
we like
done. Can
animals
you be
here.
done?
Well,
Yeah, we
Ziva, she
too.
usually comes when she hears my voice. Now, what's up? You've
No,
worn her out
she
today,
might not be
Rebecca.
hearing it. I have headphones, so she's probably not
Oh,
hearing
that's
you.
true. That's true.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
And for book bites, Rebecca, coming up, let's see. Well, we
For book
just had
bites, we are talking about book
April
bites for
1st.
March, right?
Well,
Or April. April's
Well,
book bites.
Mark, we just had Elizabeth Goddard on for Book Bites, and
Yes.
coming
So the
April
next one, oh
1st
yeah,
is Becca. Becca
it is
Kinzer
Becca Kinzer.
joins
Not
us.
What We Pictured is the name of her
Yeah.
book. And then we actually have 3 episodes of Book Bites in April coming out. So you'll stay tuned and you'll find out more about those. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, please find us at rebeccaandrebecca.com. Like and subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts. So,
yep, we want to hear from you. So make sure you comment. There might be a poll somewhere so you can answer questions and find out more. We will find out more about you if you answer questions, and then we can hopefully make it more interesting for you. The more you share, the more interesting we can make it for you. So we appreciate your watching. And like I said, please come back in April. We'll have a whole bunch more stuff coming your way. And it was really nice to share with you today, Mandy. We thank you for coming on. And until next
Thanks for
time, we
having me.
will,
we'll see you
okay,
soon. Take
see ya.
care.
Bye.